really nice to sometimes just slow down and think, how can we create an incredible experience for this group of people? And how can we create experiences that can help really foster relationships? And I think it's amazing that you could actually do some of those things in virtual environments that you really would never be able to do in a website alone. Like a 2D website, even a chat forum can only
Exactly.
get you so far. But when you can actually have a vibe and an experience and an event, sometimes, especially with some of the more immersive environments where you're actually wearing a VR goggles, you're actually kind of tricking your brain, and your memory is like that you actually physically spent time with that person, even if you're distant and you're all just tapping into this through a console.
I like to talk about how in the early 90s, and a lot of people may not even been born then that are on this call in this space, but in the early 90s, brick and mortar, they had to transition into the internet space to remain competitive. This is just the next evolution. For those same companies to remain competitive going forward in the future, they're going to have a presence in these virtual worlds. So that it's just the next evolution. And I mentioned at the beginning of the call, Movie Player One, it depicts all of the technology we're going to be going. Think about, a lot of us may be fairly privileged. We've got all our basic needs met, food, water, shelter, some way of earning income. But if you were, we're basically those people, and especially Americans, we're like the top 5%, even the top 3% of the world. That would be us. The majority of the world lives in deplorable condition. What if they could be in a world they could look any way they wanted to look? Like the majority of us we're going to spend in that world, right? Like if that was the world, and then the rules, of this legacy world, which is the IRL world, the in real life world that we're talking about, doesn't necessarily exist there. You have a whole nother opportunity to build a persona. Like if you wanted to be a singer, well, go for it. Now you can put your looks on there and you can go sing to your hearts and create a stage for yourself that's fantastic and fill it with people. Like that's on the individual level. Now for companies, because you were asking about how businesses can go in, well, this is a tremendous opportunity. We can see that into Centraland, like all of the name brands are jumping in there. I mean, all of the fast foods are in there: McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. JP Morgan Chase was the first bank to go in there. And people may be thinking, well, how is it that McDonald's, I mean, you can't eat food while you're in the virtual world. And that's true, necessarily no. But what you can do is you can walk into that McDonald's, you can go and order the food. And while you're messing around and you're in that world, hosting a business meeting or whatever, Uber Eats can bring you your actual food that you ordered from McDonald's. And you never had to leave your house or wherever you're at interacting with in this virtual world. So it's a real opportunity for companies to open themselves up and allow people to see them. And it's a fantastic way for smaller companies to get in there and get a name known for themselves. Like if you couldn't afford to have a brick and mortar place in the real world because you live in, say, San Francisco or New York City, well, you can do it this way. And you can bring massive traffic to yourself, and you can do massive collaborations like what we're doing, what SmartMoose is doing, where we're building this incredible gallery to be able to host all kinds of events and do parties for people, launches for people, so that they can get out into the space and so that we can show the world, what all this technology can do. So I'm going to bring on Trish because I want her to talk a little bit about all the cool, she is one of the most amazing graphic artist. She's behind Ever Smart Cities logo. Oh my God, Trish, I'm not going to even do you justice. She's
Thank
a
you.
professor. She teaches this stuff. Talk a little bit about what you do and what the metaverse has done for your work.
Well, thank you for having me, Sophia, and it's good to see you too, David. This is such an exciting time, especially for artists, and it's like a convergence between worlds where lines and boundaries are being blurred between the physical world and the digital world, which is happening even more aggressively now with like wearable fashions in the metaverse as well. And I just the book Snow Crash is also a good reference to read with the metaverse. For me, gosh, it's just been a whirlwind, exciting time. I actually started working in VR when I was in my master's thesis from School of Visual Arts in New York, and I built a physical world that was virtual. But I had to use pressure sensors on the floor to make it work, it was very exciting to be working in it, but it wasn't quite where it is now. Now it's just so much easier for artists to create in the metaverse, and artists are in a renaissance time right now because artists can be engineers, right? I've been a featured artist at Metaverse 2.0 with the Web Web3 meetup as well. I'm the featured artist in Verbella's gallery, which is a VR space for meetings, Verbella. And I've spoken several times at XR Women. I also have a gallery in Spatial that I built. And all this that I've been creating, I have had a lot of traction, a lot of solo shows. I have a solo show going on right now in Jersey City where I combine my physical art with augmented reality. And then I kind of do a reverse NFT. I make the physical piece and then I do a LiDAR 3D scan of it and then mint that LiDAR scan as the NFT. And then the unlockable content is the actual physical sculpture, which is a raku mixed media. And from all of this, I became artist in residence for Creatives Rebuild New York at BronxNet TV. So I am going to be teaching augmented reality in the Bronx for BronxNet TV. I teach augmented reality and 3D animation at St. Peter's University. I've taught augmented reality and VR at FIT in New York. And I also was teaching VR to a charter school in Harlem. So I've gotten a lot of traction, and now I'm a full-time artist, and I'm just creating all the time now, and I'm just loving every minute of it.
Hashtag badass. Ladies,
Thank
this
you.
is why I wanted to bring Trish up here so you guys can hear. This is just revolutionary for women. If you can, you don't have to be an artist, right? You can just collaborate with artists and get in there. If you're into real estate, take what you're doing in real estate and your interest and put it into the metaverse. There's so many opportunities, like massive opportunities. If you were to just spend some of your free time and turn off that TV or your social media or whatever that you spend your extra time on and just really dig into these Web3 technologies like the metaverse, your life would be unrecognizable within a year because it's just at its infancy. So Trish, I'm going to circle back to you, but I wanted to bring on another special guest that we have, 𝐀𝐝𝐦𝐬, who is the founder and CEO of netwomen.co. 𝐀𝐝𝐦𝐬, I just wanted you to share with everybody like what you're doing. And what we want to talk about is this is an incredible opportunity for women to get in this space. And I wanted you to see in IRL, like in the legacy world, what we're doing to ensure that women get in technology. Go ahead, 𝐀𝐝𝐬𝐬.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. It's great to be here and great to be in this space. Trish, I absolutely loved what you were saying. I was sending the hearts. So yeah, great to be in this space. Thank you for inviting me on here. So here at Net Women, what we're doing is we're helping tech companies become more profitable by elevating their females within the organization. So really helping women get to CEOs and helping women get to the top and helping them stay there. And we do that through our educational tech platform, where we have coaching, we have peer support and global collaboration. We are also on podcasts. We do some work around mindset changes about how we can help elevate and nurture women and creating opportunities for them in this space as well. So thank you for letting me be on this platform.
Absolutely. So ladies, just to kind of recap that. So what she does is she ensures that companies understand that one of their biggest profitability zones is that companies, one of their biggest resources is the women in their organizations. And how do they cultivate it? How do they promote them? How do they move them up the ladder so that they can be more profitable? Also, it creates a collaborative workspace. It just changes the trajectory of the company and what they're doing. So look towards the future. SmartMoose will be doing a lot of events with 𝐀𝐝𝐦𝐬𝐬 and with her organization and bringing up a lot of the women and hosting those in the metaverse so that you guys can meet all these powerful women and all these companies that are really in pushing the charge for women getting into the tech space and moving upwards. All right, 𝐀𝐝𝐦𝐬𝐬, I'll turn back over to you.
I love that we have the guests that we have. In a certain way, I was ready to even rename the room. I was ready to rename the room title something more along the lines of like bridging the gap for female entrepreneurs in Web3. That's really the conversation I'm hearing unfold, which I love. This in a lot of ways is a direct extension of what we talk about every morning in Moonriser Radio. I'm so blessed to have multiple really strong entrepreneurs in Web3 as our co-hosts and speakers. And it's just great to see the diversity and the balance and those organizations that just have that embedded in just right into the founders team, that it's a matter of course and really paves the way and is a great role model and just a great thing for people to follow, that we're empowered here, both individuals, men, women, young, old, people with a ton of experience, people with curiosity, and that really the energy and the spirit of the community that we're cultivating here is a safe place where we can start learning together, and that we can start onboarding more people into the Web3 space. Because as Sophia has pointed out multiple times, I love this point too, that really this is the path for sovereignty. Like, this is the path where we can get around a lot of the barriers and hurdles that may have been holding us back for as creators and entrepreneurs, or whatever it is, for any number of reasons that have just been strong points of resistance, strong friction points, that we have the tools to just work immediately around them and move swiftly into the way that we're onboarding new people, building our communities, and helping share value with those people that are putting time and energy into the growth as a whole.